Devastating floods, mind-blowing tornadoes, and other natural phenomena are here to amaze you. Lightning struck mere meters away from the cameraman. I hope he went and bought a lottery ticket that day. An earthquake caught this woman and her fluffy friend off guard while they were chilling in their apartment. Luckily, they both escaped, just a little rattled. Natural phenomena can create perfect moments, such as lightning striking when the famous Metallica plays Master of Puppets. Hell yeah, Odin loves rock too. Lightning striking a house can cause a lot of damage to home appliances. Luckily, modern lightning rods help prevent such occurrences. Believe it or not, Kawa-Ijen has blue fire. But if you're not a professional guide like this man, it's best you stay away from this phenomenon. Although science can easily explain this unusual blue flame, I prefer the idea that Godzilla lives in this volcano. Indeed, lightning is likely to hit the tallest objects, but remember, it's not always the case. It looks like Mother Nature wanted to see what's inside this house. Thankfully, it was abandoned, so nobody was harmed. No, this isn't a well-planned flash mob with dancing cars. The drivers are experiencing an earthquake. Luckily, it wasn't strong, so no one was injured. Is this a storm or just a huge monster hiding somewhere off-screen? This is why you should never shelter under trees when it's stormy outside. Even a modern defense system for this solar panel plant in India couldn't protect it from a violent storm that caused million-dollar damage. They said there was lightning near their house, but why didn't I hear the iconic ka-chow? Ka-chow. Sometimes nature has a special kind of humor. If not for friends, the poor girl probably never would have closed those doors. Unfortunately, this street wasn't prepared for a flood of this scale, so now residents have to pay for repairs to their cars and homes. At least there were no casualties. Imagine seeing this 10,000 years ago, and suddenly the legends about Titans were born. It looks like ghost bullies have entered this building and are messing with the doors. This is how we have fun in magic school. The way traces of lightning strikes resemble our body's nervous systems is incredible. Man, I don't envy the guy who just bought a boat to enjoy on this lake. No one was hurt. Mother Nature decided to greatly reduce the price of Tesla shares. What do you say to that, Elon Musk? Why shouldn't you mess with Zeus? Well, here's one reason. It's a miracle that this storm didn't cause any damage to nearby structures while destroying every tree in the yard. Apparently, only people with seriously good karma live in this neighborhood. Nature is obviously hinting that the driver should take a different way home. The Justice League probably needs to buy more umbrellas. What would happen if you didn't wash your pants for a month? They'd probably fly away. Sure, this storm caused a blackout, but at least the locals got to enjoy a short but thrilling fireworks show from the comfort of their homes. If you know someone who doesn't believe that aliens make tornadoes, just show them this video. Mother Nature definitely doesn't appreciate the work of glassmakers. Thankfully, the people inside the house survived the storm unharmed. Well, now this woman gets to celebrate 2 birthdays. Good thing she hadn't jumped into the water before the lightning struck. Trying to extend the pleasure by slowly breaking this tree. That's a weird kind of ASMR. Even bears can experience the power of a storm. Hopefully, this one found a safe place to hide from the wind. Look at how enormous this lightning is. Thankfully, it struck far away from the soccer field, so nobody was injured. The storm was so heavy that it felt like the motorcyclists were going 100 miles per hour, but nobody was even moving. This avalanche unexpectedly appeared right behind a snowboarder. Fortunately, he outran it thanks to his skill and some luck. This lightning strike hit the Top Thrill dragster at Cedar Point. Fortunately, the roller coaster wasn't in operation due to the nasty weather, so no one was there when it happened. Rule number 1, if a tornado doesn't seem to be moving, it's coming at you and you should start running. Despite the fact that enormous hail completely destroyed the window, the homeowner didn't get upset, unlike his insurance company. Mother Nature decided that it was time to take a shower. Thankfully, no one got hurt. I knew that living in sandy cheeks from SpongeBob's house wasn't my best decision. Okay, maybe an ordinary tornado doesn't impress you much, but how about a fire-nado? The green aurora borealis is undoubtedly a beautiful natural phenomenon. It looks like a dance of heavenly spirits. So this is how my Sims feel when I escape daytime in the game. This is a jaw-dropping coal field with never-ending fire. What a nice spot for a barbecue, am I right? It only took a day for nature to turn this cozy town into a real mess. The good news is none of the residents were hurt by this flood. Witnessing half of a forest disappear in seconds due to nature's wrath is almost unbelievable. This is how I picture the arrival of the Dark Lord. That moment when invisible ninjas are trying to kidnap you, but you're putting up a good fight. Either someone has just broken a huge barrel of wine, or the universe has decided to create a true Red Sea. This water is glowing thanks to a special plankton that generates lighting during movement. It actually looks like a scene from a new Disney movie. Here's why you should always take flash flood warnings seriously. No, this isn't some weird firework. These comets flew millions of miles through space to dazzle us with an astonishing natural phenomenon. What are the odds of seeing hail in a desert? 0? Think again. So this is how George Lucas came up with the double sunset idea for Star Wars. Now, I have a good reason not to visit Scotland in the summer. You can build a road using the best materials, but if Mother Nature decides it doesn't fit the landscape, it'll be gone before you know it. Did you know that volcanic eruptions could be so beautiful? Nature is truly the most skilled artist on our planet. I always wait to let cows or geese cross the road, but what is this? Tumbleweeds? This sky looks like it's been taken directly from a Ghostbusters movie. So where is Marshmallow Man? These hikers weren't expecting their trail to turn into a real-life Donkey Kong video game with huge chunks of ice. But good luck kept them safe. After years of a boring life, this roof has finally decided to go for a ride. Water wears away stone, but in this case, it's an entire highway. Asphalt and metal can do nothing against the power of nature. Just look at how easily a flood can take down the creations of human civilization. What do you get when you combine swift wind and fire? One of the most mind-blowing natural phenomena, of course. But look, this is how a tiny fire tornado is born. Would have been cute if it hadn't been so scary. The good news is that this man doesn't have to worry about running out of snow, but he's probably starting to hate winter. Can you imagine part of a mountain disappearing in 1 second? Well, Mother Nature's here to show you what's possible. POV, you decided to arrange the snow battle with Mother Nature, but things got out of hand. If you can't understand why these people are so stunned, imagine how penguins would react to discovering their home in Antarctica has been turned into a sunny beach.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Who says volcanic eruptions can't be beautiful? What an eye-catching moment. Now I know what inspired MasterCard's logo. Seeing an eclipse is already a great experience, but what are the chances of seeing the illusion of this phenomenon? The cameraman is one lucky guy. Although hailstorms are common in Mexico during warm months, this one definitely surprised everyone. Look at the chunks of ice. They're as big as oranges. These terrifying cyclones are sometimes known as fire devils. Yeah, firenadoes look like they come straight from hell. Finally, we have video evidence that Mr. Freeze is real.
Winter has come at last.
Due to Lake Turgoyic's depth, it can be covered in ice even when the temperature reaches 86 degrees Fahrenheit. I wonder where Optimus Prime and his Autobots are off to this time. Everest Camp 2 is located at an altitude of 20,997 feet. Although the tents don't look reliable, they can easily withstand natural disasters like avalanches. I bet the owner of this house never expected to have an aquarium outside their window. At least now taking a bath will be more entertaining. Sometimes, the scale of a volcanic eruption is impressively enormous. For instance, this one could even be seen by astronauts on the International Space Station. The way these mosquitoes form columns that move like the tentacles of a terrifying monster makes me nervous. And here we have yet another waterfall masterfully created by nature. Once again, it proves you should never underestimate the power of a flood. These hailstones are massive. You could easily use them to play baseball. This red sky effect was created by a fire near Wanboing Lake. What a beautiful and frightening phenomenon. That moment when you mask your spaceship but forget it's surrounded by clouds. There are approximately 70,000 wildfires per year, and the majority of them are caused by humans. Still wonder why nature gets mad at us sometimes? This meteor's color is so unusual and eye-catching. I wonder why it's so blue. Did you know that a tornado forming looks just like someone summoning the genie from Aladdin? Who needs 5D movie theaters when we have such realistic tsunami illusions? Solar eclipses can cause various illusions like this one, which resembles a UFO. Landslides are one of the most dangerous phenomena you can encounter in the mountains. Luckily, when this natural disaster destroyed a large part of the forest, there was no one to get injured. The aurora borealis is one of the most beautiful things you can see in nature, and it's caused by magnetic storms. Dozens of cars couldn't get from one side of the road to another due to this devastating flood. This is when Google Maps is truly useless. Luckily, there were no casualties. Everything seems like magic when you don't know physics. This phenomenon is called HAARP clouds, and they're caused by unique atmospheric conditions. Due to this shop's panoramic windows, watching a flood feels like visiting a huge aquarium. But where are the fish? This cloud looks like someone shaping it on an invisible pottery wheel until it turns into a tornado. Oh no, Dr. Strange is playing with his portals again. It looks like millions of gallons of water have been stored inside this mountain, and they're finally being released to make a new river. The power is so breathtaking. People in Dubai witnessed this celestial body flying in the sky. It's still unknown whether it was a meteor or space debris, but it definitely surprised everyone with an unexpected fireworks show. Even though this large part of West Bay's cliff collapsed unexpectedly, it's a common thing for this kind of coastline. As a rule, these natural features often suffer from erosion. Fortunately, this accident didn't cause any significant damage. I always knew someone was making those fluffy clouds. Finally, we have proof. Isn't it so exciting to live in a world where you can randomly see such a magnificent natural phenomenon? This girl definitely needs to hire hell divers to deal with this moth invasion. Oops, somebody dropped the clouds. Hey, we need to get those back up there. If there were a compilation of the biggest and scariest tornadoes, this one would take first place. This is what it's like to drive a car during the biggest downpour in 75 years. Thankfully, everyone was using their hazard lights and slowing down for safety. Did you know that wildfires like this not only destroy local ecosystems, but are also a major source of air pollution? we should do our best to stop these accidents. Whirlpools are like a free hypnosis session created by nature. It's amazing how fast the Malangwa River created a large channel to the Indian Ocean. These fish are like, so this is where we're gonna live now. Not bad. Given the history of the Titanic, this guy should be careful while swimming near that huge chunk of ice. Don't worry, that's not a wildfire. An earthquake hit this mountain, causing tons of dust to fly into the air. Now, we know that if you combine sand and seawater, it looks like beer. Don't worry, this is just a spaceship parked in invisible mode. This shocking landslide happened near Daxian Village in 2023. It's simply unbelievable to see a giant part of the mountain turn into nothing in a few moments. Fortunately, there were no people injured. You never know what lurks in the darkness. It could be a cat, a monster, or a frickin' tornado. This isn't footage from Pandora. You can visit Crystal Cove State Park if you want to see these glowing waves caused by bioluminescent bacteria. Mother Nature decided to play with snowballs, but it went too far. One avalanche is scary enough, but 4 avalanches at the same time? Horrifying. That moment when you're recording a video for your blog and the apocalypse begins. This cart has watched way too much WWE. Stop it. As a rule, these rope tornadoes are the smallest and safest, known for their curved shape in the final minutes. It's hard to imagine a worse place to experience a 7.2 magnitude earthquake than a suspension road bridge. Fortunately, it held strong. This is how car owners prepare for the most intense hail in the history of the UAE. Unfortunately, there's not much that can save a car from hailstones the size of golf balls. This parking lot turns into a mass car wash during a storm. Don't forget that handbrake to keep your vehicle from being washed away. Nothing to see here, just a raging river highlighting the need for a better built bridge. No, this isn't an apocalyptic movie, but the result of mining operations that have actually terraformed this pass. About once a year, the residents of Bologna feel like they're in Venice. And no, not because of the number of tourists. Imagine how strong the wind has to be to do this to your house. If you're too lazy to even fix your fence, then don't set foot in Indonesia, because thanks to these little beauties, you'll be rebuilding your home every few years. The residents of this mountain cabin certainly weren't expected to wake up to a house blocked by a snowfall. Thank God they had a snow shovel. I bet you've never seen a river overflow so intensely that it turns a whole forest into a water slide. It seems this guy managed to get onto the set of the new Harry Potter series from HBO Max. But seriously, what do you think this is?
It's a broomstick. It's a Nimbus 2000.
Still think your second-floor apartment is safe from flooding? Maybe try the third floor next time for a more peaceful sleep. Now, you might be thinking, but I've already seen a tornado today. To which I say, trust me, you haven't seen one this big. It's literally the most tornado-looking tornado you've ever seen. Well, at least this residential complex is able to save on water in the grounds, and the playground equipment stays clean. Yeah, my mom taught me to always look on the bright side. It's crazy how nature can make a second-degree flood even more challenging by simply adding lots of ice. Here's more proof that nature is truly alive. Just look at how this forest is breathing. This flooded city needs a hero, but for now, a single drain is doing its best. Oh, so that's why gym trainers recommend not skipping leg day. But seriously, I hope no one was late for work. When you live in a country with cold winters, life is always full of surprises. How would you even defrost your car to get to work? Tell us in the comments. This is the heaviest rain Seoul has seen in the last 115 years, allowing local residents to watch their streets turn into rivers and lakes in just a couple of hours. Watching a tornado effortlessly lift 8-ton truck trailers into the air is truly unsettling. Let me explain the essence of nature's power with this wind turbine example. Whatever humanity creates to tame it, nature finds a way to break it down. The only thing scarier than how easily this tornado tears through power lines is that it can go anywhere at speeds of up to 55 miles per hour. Literally unstoppable. Mongolia hasn't seen a snowstorm like this in a long time. Just imagine 80% of the country covered with 3.28 feet of snow, and the temperature dropped to minus 50.8 degrees Fahrenheit. The developer got all possible permits for building this house, but the most important approval from nature wasn't granted. When tsunami waves start tossing around docked ships like toys, all you can do is cross your fingers and hope that no one's on board. If you think the weather outside your window is bad, take a look at what real bad weather looks like. Looks like someone needs to learn how to control their firebending skills. Either that or this is a rare natural phenomenon that raises too many questions for me. No, this isn't a ship sailing through an icy sea, but a desperate snowplow battling against 50 centimeters of snowfall that fell overnight. It's hard to imagine something more terrifying than a landslide that can literally relocate an entire lake. Due to the 2024 California snowstorm, someone had to wait a couple of weeks longer for their Christmas gift. Careful what you wish for, because an ocean view hotel room like this may end up being more unforgettable than you imagine. Well, at least you don't have to clean the windows. What do you think happens when the pressure inside a glacial river becomes too high? Well, it comes bursting out of the ice, shooting water 6 meters into the air, which then flows down about 60 meters to the base. I guess a volcanic eruption isn't all that surprising anymore, so check out this glacier erupting right onto a promenade. A flood of this magnitude always triggers massive landslides, and Himachal Pradesh in India was no exception. That road looked almost brand new. When you hear that Japan is located in an active seismic zone, it's hard to understand just how active it really is. Here's a case where you could have just flooded your downstairs neighbor's ceiling, but the cold winter decided to make it more of a challenge. How dare this oil vein disrupt some farmer's agricultural season? Well, maybe he doesn't have to worry about profits. When the Arctic decides to reclaim some coastline, not even an icebreaker can do anything about it. I bet you never thought about what happens underwater during a 7.2 magnitude earthquake, but you've gotta see it. Nobody was hurt, but everyone was shocked. Remember the movie The Day After Tomorrow? Well, it turns out it wasn't too far-fetched after all. These drivers were unlucky enough to be at the epicenter of a 7 magnitude earthquake in Kyrgyzstan. Fortunately, no one was injured. After a storm, residents of this area thought the worst was behind them, but then this happened. Get out the chess set, because you won't be watching Netflix anytime soon. Imagine seeing this in front of you while on a single-person boat. What would you do in this situation? Share your thoughts in the comments. Imagine waking up and seeing a wave as tall as your house right outside your window. You know, I was under the impression that water was supposed to go through a pipe, but I'm learning something new thanks to this flood. No, this plane didn't make an emergency landing on water. Dubai International Airport just turned into a massive lake thanks to some heavy rainfall in the UAE. Ever heard that you shouldn't swim in bodies of water during a thunderstorm? Do you know why? Imagine the force of ocean waves that allow water to easily pass through 30 meters of underground cracks. For these tourists, a tour of a dormant volcano turned into the most epic experience of their lives. Good thing they hadn't reached the summit yet. Even though it can be scary, sometimes the weather takes care of you by creating natural drinking fountains, like this one in Yosemite Park. This is what I call snowfall. Look at how huge those flakes are. It's like sky dandruff. This Australian couple didn't ask for a swimming pool in their backyard, but they got one anyway. Let's just hope this cameraman didn't forget to wear his anti-bug suit so this cloud of vampire mosquitoes doesn't drink him dry. And that's all for now. Which of today's natural phenomena amazed you the most? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts in the comments. Also, make sure you like the video, hit the bell button, and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the most mind-blowing natural disasters and phenomena. See you later.